This 6'4" build is a 4-way demigod. For this build, we are going 6'4", 204 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. And we're going to be starting with the most fun part about this build, which is the driving dunk. We are going to have a 94 driving dunk, and then we're going to use our first 5 cap breakers here to get it up to a 99, which obviously gives us all the elite contact dunk packages, all the best dunk packages in the game, and obviously we get posterizer on legend, so we're gonna be yamming it on everyone. I also do have a 6'8" version of this build that also gets a 99 dunk, so if you guys want to see that build, let me know in the comments. But putting our driving dunk up to a 94 here puts our driving layup up to a 74 automatically, and if we bump this up one attribute to a 75, it gives us layup mixmaster on bronze. And then also having our driving dunk at a 94 brings our standing dunk up to a 39, which we do need at least a 44 so we can unlock a standing dunk package. Most people would think that having a 40 standing dunk is useless, it's not going to do anything, but it actually helps a lot to unlock that standing dunk package, because there's a lot of times where you catch a bad pass under the rim and then you try to go up and dunk it, and then you just do a little bad layup and get blocked, where if you had the 40 standing dunk and you had that animation equipped, you would more than likely just go up for the dunk and not get blocked. So it's actually very useful. But with having a 99 driving dunk, we need to have the vertical to go along with that. So we're gonna have an 89 vertical, and we're gonna use another cap breaker here to get it up to a 90, which is the requirement to get posterizer on legend, and it's also the requirement to get elite contact dunks off of 1. Now you would think that having a 99 driving dunk would mean that we are severely limiting our build in other areas, but since we have cap breakers, that is just not true anymore. Now, if you don't have cap breakers, yeah, you're not going to get the 99 dunk, but I will have an option for you guys at the end of this video for how you can make this build without the cap breakers. So just go ahead, skip ahead. I'll have a little timestamp down there. But you are actually going to be able to shoot very, very consistently on this build. We are going to have an 88 mid-range shot, and then we're using another cap breaker here to get it up to an 89. An 89 mid-range shot is the requirement to get set shot specialist on gold, which is very, very helpful to get, especially since when people see that you have a 99 driving dunk, they're probably going to be sagging off you a lot, and you're going to be able to knock down shots very easily with the shooting you'll have on this build, because you're also going to have an 83 3-point shot, which is the requirement to get limitless range on bronze. Now for the playmaking on this build, we are going to have an 86 ball handle, which is the requirement to get all the playmaking badges on silver. We will have strong handle on gold though, once we do put our strength up to a 73. And then we're going to combine that with an 86 speed with ball, which is what we need to get lightning launch on gold. And our pass accuracy is going to be a 71, which is the requirement for dimer on silver. Now I know I have the position set to point guard here, but this is more of a shooting guard build. The reason I have the position set to point guard is because this game is weird. If you put your position at shooting guard in the rack, it's probably going to put you at small forward most of the time. So since we're at the point guard position and we don't have super crazy high playmaking, you're going to be playing shooting guard the majority of the time on this build. Now, if you do want to play point guard on this build and you want to have elite handles, you want to have better passing, then I'll have a second version of this build for you guys that gets all the best dribbling animations, and it even gets, I think, an 82 pass accuracy for gold dimer. So just stick around for that. I'll show you guys that version of the build as well. Let's skip down to our physicals here and get that all sorted out. So we have an 88 speed on this build, and we also have an 83 agility. And like I said before, we're going to have a 73 strength, which is just enough to get a strong handle on gold. But you look at our attributes here, you see we're already at a 94 overall, and you would think that we're not going to get any defense, right? Well, you're going to be an elite defender on this build. Look at this. We can put our perimeter defense up to an 89, and then we can use our last 3 cap breakers here to get this up to a 92, which is going to give us all the gold defensive badges. Besides immovable enforcer, you do have to have, I believe it's 85 strength to get this up to gold, which just not able to get all the attributes to get it there. But with your perimeter defense being this high, it's not going to make that huge of a difference. If you were going for more of a pure lockdown build, yes, definitely I'd want to get that on gold. But I mean, look at the other stats we have. We literally have a 99 driving dunk. We have gold set shot special specialist, which could be +1s to Hall of Fame, and we even have good playmaking combined with the very good defense. I mean, this build is crazy. Now, to go along with that 92 perimeter defense, we are going to have a 91 steal as well, which is enough to get us glove and interceptor both on gold. Now, if you do ever hit vet 2 and you do unlock 5 additional cap breakers, you could use that on steal here to get both of these badges up to Hall of Fame, which would make this build just an insane two-way player, which I mean, it already is, even if you don't have the vet 2 cap breakers. And I want to talk about cap breakers a lot because I see this a lot in my TikTok comments. At least people are always complaining that I'm making builds for 10 cap breakers, and you've been playing the game since it came out. You've gotten 5 cap breakers now from all the season passes. You get those cap breakers for free just by playing the game. You don't even have to buy the season pass. And you would also have 5 more cap breakers from hitting starter 3. So if you've been playing since the game came out, you more than likely have 10 cap breakers by now, or at least you're pretty close. But anyways, our block here, we're putting this up to a 68, which the requirement for high flying denier on bronze is a 68. Now, you're not going to be getting crazy chase downs on this, but you will get a block or two once in a while, so it's nice to have. And then we're gonna finish out the build by getting a 60 offensive rebound, so we get rebound chaser on bronze. And then we'll throw the last of our attribute points into free throw, which gets it up to a 75, which is more than enough to consistently hit your free throws. And then for using your badge +1s, I personally would use my tier 1 +1 on set shot specialist, because that'll get it up to Hall of Fame. Or another good option would to be using it on lightning launch to get that up to Hall of Fame. Either way you go with that, it's going to be really good. And honestly, for your tier 2 badge +1, there's not really any crazy options. I mean, you could put it on dimer to get that up to gold. You could also do immovable enforcer. You could get that up to silver. Or honestly, I would probably do slippery off ball, getting that up to Hall of Fame. But let's get into the build that could actually play point guard and has really good playmaking. So here's that version of the build. You would put 4 of your cap breakers onto ball handle, which would bring it up to a 92, which gives you gold handles for days, gold strong handle, and gold unpluckable. And at 92 ball handle, you unlock pretty much all of the best dribble moves in the entire game. And you'll also have an 82 pass accuracy on this version of the build, so you'll get that gold dimer, which you could +1 to Hall of Fame, so you'll be able to run the point. And then you would use 1 more cap breaker on your vertical to get it up to a 90 for all the dunk packages and for legend posterizer, and then 5 more cap breakers on driving dunk, get that up to a 99. So that's 10 cap breakers right there. And in order to get the better playmaking, the defense did have to be sacrificed a little bit. You still do get an 85 perimeter defense, which is more than enough to hold your own. You get all these silver defensive badges, and then you do get an 85 steal, which still gets you gold interceptor and silver glove. And then I did have to sacrifice a tiny bit of speed and agility to get us there. But if you don't have any cap breakers, you're not going to get the 99 dunk, and I'll show you the build here. You're only gonna get a 93 driving dunk on it, which is enough to get you gold posterizer, which is considered the sweet spot in this game. And it is enough to get you contact dunks, and it's enough to get you the small contact dunks, which are very good. But on this version of the build without cap breakers, since you don't get the 99 dunk, we don't have to have the maxed out wingspan, which means we can get better shooting on this version. So we have a 93 mid-range, which will get us gold Deadeye, Hall of Fame set shot specialist, and gold shifty shooter. So you could use a tier 1 +1 to get your set shot specialist up to legend. And then it's the same story with your playmaking and your defense. You are just all around an elite build, even without cap breakers. Let's go back to the original build with cap breakers here, and let's talk about some of the takeovers you might want to use on this build. So first and foremost, the most obvious one you could use is slice, which gives you an upgrade to your driving dunk, speed, and agility. Now obviously having the upgrade to your driving dunk is kind of useless because you already have a driving dunk, which is a 99, but you do get the poster machine takeover, which with a 99 dunk, legend posterizer, kind of insane insane. And when you have your takeover, you would have a 95 speed and 90 agility, so you'll be insanely quick. But another option would be to use the Make It Rain takeover, which still gives you a boost to your speed. You would have a 95 speed when you have your takeover, but it also is going to make you an elite shooter because you'll have a 95 mid-range shot and a 93 point shot with the marksman takeover, while also having a 99 driving dunk and legend posterizer. So I mean, you're just able to do it all at an elite level. Or if you want to just be an absolute menace, you want to ruin the other people's days, you could use something like the pest takeover, which is going to boost your perimeter defense by 7, your steal by 7, and agility by 7. So you'll be an absolute menace on defense. And when you have your Capbreakers on, your perimeter defense is a 92, which means that when you have this takeover, you'll have a 99 perimeter defense, 98 steal, and a 90 agility combined with everything else you get on this build, which I mean, it's just absurd what you get at 6'4" in this game. Now I'm on my 96 dunk build to show you guys what dunk animations I would put on this because I haven't actually made this build yet. I'm debating between making one of the builds I just showed you guys or making the 6'8" version of this build that also gets the 99 driving dunk, but I can't really afford to be spending another like $100 on VC to fully upgrade another build, so I'll just be grinding it out by actually playing the game. So for our 2-foot moving dunks, obviously we want to put the elite contact dunks off of 2, and generally the 2-foot moving dunks are a lot slower than the 1-foot moving dunk, so this is the only animation I would recommend throwing on here. But for our 1-foot moving dunks, we would want to throw on the elite contact dunks off of 1, and then also the small contact dunks off of 1, which is also very good. I would also recommend putting on these side clutches off of 1. These are very fast dunks and very good to use. They're under the double clutch animations right here. And then I would also use these cockback tomahawks, which is under the tomahawk dunks. And then for your standing dunks, you just want to put on the one that you can get, which requires the 40 standing dunk, the 2-hand under basket regular. And then for the signature dunks, I really like to use Michael Jordan, which I think requires starter 4. I also really like to use Russell Westbrook. Kobe Bryant is a really good one, and then also LeBron James. For the alley-oops, we have the elite alley-oops and the Zion alley-oops equipped, as well as the elite contact dunks, pro contact dunks, and then since you're 6'4", you'll also be able to put on the small contact dunks. And those are all the dunk packages I would recommend using. Let me know what you guys think of all these builds down in the comments. Let me know what build you want to see next. You want to see that 6'8" with the 99 driving dunk? Just let me know down there in the comments, and here's the web. Peace.